Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share my October 2017 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit that I put together. Yes, back in 2017. And I realize it's almost a year old, but that's okay because once a kit is together, it doesn't matter when you use it, as long as it gets used. And it was based on the Saint Tropez collection from Prima. So what I pulled from that original kit were the turquoise type tones, and so I went through my paper stash and I found a set of papers that I had. There were 24 double-sided cardstock papers to start with in this collection, and I had probably used like maybe one or two here or there in different projects. So I'm going to say at least 20 sheets of pattern paper is what I started off with, and not that many, but pretty close to that many pieces of cardstock as well. So there's where I started, and this is what I have left over as far as the pattern paper goes. As far as the cardstock goes, you can see I have lots of scraps left, but no solid sheets of pattern paper. And I only have, I think there's 5 sheets of cardstock left. Yeah, and they were all the darker colors that I didn't use. So 2 of the green and 3 of the brown. So 5 sheets of that left. So overall, I feel like I did pretty good as far as using up the cardstock and pattern paper that I added in. As far as embellishments go, oh, and I have to show you, I added in 2 sets of paper stacks, smaller paper stacks. This is a 4x6, and I don't think I used this one at all, and I don't think I used this. I don't think I used either of these at all. I was going to make a lot of cards, but then I just wasn't feeling it, so I didn't. Those will go back into my stash. So of all the embellishments that I added in, these are what I have left. Now granted, I started off with a lot more embellishments and I used a ton of stuff. I still have 4 spools of ribbon left, and I used two whole rolls, 1 roll of ribbon and the end of a roll of ribbon and the end of a roll of twine. So these will go back into my stash. I think I used this green the most, and it's close to my heart. But I will eventually get it used up at some point. You know, I keep it in my stash because I love my embellishments. So I hang on to them. And I'm sure you guys are the same way. You do the same thing. Let's see. So let me go through the package stuff, and then I'll show you what's left in my tray. As far as paper embellishments, I think I started off with 2 sets of these, and then I put the rest of them back on a piece of paper, and there were 6 in here. This says it started off with 12 pieces, so maybe I used half of them. Okay, instead of 2 packages, this originally came with 12, and I used 6 of those. I have a wood veneer that says today left. I have enamel dots left, and I used a good portion of the enamel dots, with the exception, I didn't use as many of those. I used the lighter blue, but some of the colors didn't necessarily match, and that's okay. Of the 8 flare that were here, I used 5 of them. I have 3 left. This package of canvas labels, it started off originally, it came with 12. I had used some for another project, and when I got to this project now, I have 1 full one left and then 2 partials left, and at some point I'm going to get these all the way used up. I love them, and so they will go back into my stash. With this set of AC do-it-yourself bows, I had 2 left. I don't think I started with a full package, but this is what I have left out of the package, and so that will go back into my stash. I did use these foil stars, cork foil stars. I did use a couple of these big bling buttons, and they are from Michaels. Of this want to scrap sheet of the gemstones, I had quite a few on here. I had used this package maybe a couple of times before, but this is all I have left. This will get cut down and put into my blue scrap bag of bling. This, I started off with some brads and some metal pieces. And buttons and ribbon, I didn't use either. That's all I had of the buttons and ribbon, and I didn't use either one, I don't think. I maybe did, but I don't remember doing it. I used all the brads, and I think if I had metal pieces, I used them up because they're obviously not here. These border strips from Close to My Heart, they're self-adhesive on the back. They're craft. I used quite a few of these, and you can see I have quite a few little bits and pieces in there that are shorter that I've used up. Or not used completely, but used portions of. This set from Basic Gray had, with each piece like this, there was an acetate piece to go along with. And so you can see, oh, there's the paper and the acetate for that one. Yes, I had it the right way. There is the paper and the acetate piece for that one. And there's the paper and the acetate piece for that one. So I used the big piece, but I still have these other pieces left, and those will go back into my stash. This set was a partially used set of compliments from Close to My Heart. It had stickers as well as some acrylic pieces, and so I still have several of the acrylic pieces. There are the word place, and then a flower and 2 arrows left. And then as far as the sticker sheets themselves, I had used it once before for a project, but I still have tons of stickers left. They'll go back into my stash as well. I had these rub-ons, or not rub-ons, these sticker phrases, and I did use them a couple of times. This set of glitter words, I think I'm going to combine them all onto one sheet so that, you know, I can get rid of at least one of the packaging sheets that came in there. This set I think I had used once, and I got quite a few of the stickers, the border stickers used from there. I used this one quite a bit. These are leftover Close to My Heart sticker sheets. And I started out with more than this, and I've used them up, but these are what I have left. These two, I think, these 3 are from the same collection. And I've gotten to a point where I'm probably going to peel this outer edge away and then combine some stickers on here, or maybe try and move over to these other sheets where I can, so that I can at least throw one more sheet of that away. And then this is an older set too. I think I had 2 sheets to start with of this one, and I used up at least 1. This set, and I didn't realize, this is one that the colors match perfectly, but not necessarily the phrases for the photos that I pulled. But that's okay, because this will go back into my stash and I'll get it used again. I had a big sticker on here that said Sassitude. I was able to use that up, but I still have these little ladybugs on there. They're super cute. I don't want to get rid of them, and so they're going back into my stash. Now those are Close to My Heart as well. This is a set of Cosmo Cricut, really old. It says 2010 on here. Alphabet stickers, chipboard. The adhesive is gone. Yeah, it doesn't work at all, but the letters are still good, so you can glue those down. I started off with 2 sheets of these Color Ready Cork Alphas, and I've used them multiple times before, and I was able to get more use. I don't think I used this set of Alpha stickers. They are Paper Studio, and they're cork look, but they're very thin, very flat stickers. This box of C'est La Vie chipboard letters I used once. This set of Freckled Fawn, I don't think I used it this time, but I have used it before. This set of K & Company I did use at least once. This set from Freckled Fawn, these Puffy Alphas, I used at least once. And then you can see, these are a lot of the smaller letter stickers that I pulled in the different greens, golds, and yellows to match the paper packs that I pulled in. And I've used several of the sets through here. What I didn't get used will go back into my stash. This set of rub-ons, newsprint rub-ons from Close to My Heart, I did not use, but they will go back into my stash as well. Then I have this corrugated cardboard letter set. I don't think I used this, and I don't think I used any of these. This I have added into multiple kits, and I think it's finally time that I just let this one go, and so I think I'm going to do that this time. Let me move some of this out of the way. So what I have left in my tray of stuff, you can see I have quite a bit left in here, but I had added in quite tons of embellishments. These were all 4x6 scrap papers that I added in for photo matting. These were all 3x4 cards or paper pieces that I added in for embellishment or whatever. Like I said, I added the 6x6 and the 4x6 paper stacks in thinking I was going to make lots of cards, and then I didn't end up doing that. So I had those in there for additional stuff. I have some leftover doilies. These are acetate doilies, and these of course are paper doilies. I have some leftover chipboard pieces. These are some random little tags and paper pieces that I have left over that I had just added in from my color bins. These are textured tags that will go back into my stash. I use quite a few. I have paper corners left over. I have some flowers left over. I had added in tons of flowers, and I used tons of flowers, y'all. I haven't used this many flowers in forever. And to go along with the flowers are the buttons, and this is what I have of what I added in. This is what I have left of the yellow buttons. So I used them a ton. I had added in some paper tags, and these are bits and pieces left over from that. I had added in several of these wood veneer, and I believe they were from Michael's, and that's what I have left. I have one left. I nearly used up the rest of this brown roll of twine. I used this blue twine quite a bit, and then I had multiple strands of an aqua twine on here that I've used. I had gold and brown sequins that I added in, and of course the washi tape I added in. I did use up one roll of washi tape that I had added in, and these will all go back into my stash. Over here, these are my leftover bits of ribbon and twine that I had left over. And this one was actually from something someone gave me. It was a package piece, and I just threw it in here to try to use it. Those I had added in from a color bin and didn't use. And then I have lots of labels and just little leftover pieces, stickers, tags, things from my color bins, journaling spots, and then some book pieces that I had pulled in that were in French. I did use several of those, but of course, you know, you can't use them all up. So that's what I have left in my tray. And then finally, these are the packages and papers of things that I have used up. You can see full sheets of those close to my heart stickers. There's a full sheet from Starfish and Dreams, but they were vellum stickers, and I had used them once or twice before. I had used up some brads, lots of carrier sheets. Yeah, you can see I have lots of packaging left over that will go into the trash. That's from the twine, from the ribbon, and then the washi tape that I have left over, or that I used up. And so all of this packaging will go into the trash. And then finally, what I created, yeah, I showed you all of that. What I created, I ended up creating, with the kit that I put in, that I started with, I ended up, oh, and I forgot, my tools. I had added in 4 sets of stamps, and I used all 4 sets at least once a piece. And then I had added in these tags. These words, I did not use these. And then these oval border dies, and I didn't use the tags at all. Maybe once I think I used the tags. So that's what I had left over. And then what I created was actually 20 pages as far as layouts go, and 5 cards. So let me grab those. Okay, so let me pull this over. And this is just the lid off of my plastic bin that I have my layouts in and my cards. Let me lift the layouts out, and I'll show you the cards. Now, the cards were just made out of scraps, and then one of those big sheets of brown cardstock that I had added in. These are pre-made bases. And you can see that was a sticker that said celebrate, and it says best day is stamped on the inside, and then a flourish on the envelope, and there's ribbon along there. These are raised up using the craft foam that you can buy. A vellum sticker here with enamel dots, and then another vellum sticker on the inside, and it says dream big, shoot for the moon, even if you miss you'll land among the stars. This one is, I had put that on, and when I had added these dies in, I didn't realize there was a die you needed to cut those ovals out with the stitching on them, so I don't have that. And the ovals that I do have were not the same size as these. So what I ended up doing was I ran them through the die cutter, put the oval stitch design on it, and then fussy cut them out with just scissors. If you look closely you can tell, but just looking at it from a distance you can't tell. Again, more enamel dots. This is a stamped out sentiment. It says the love of family is the greatest blessing, and then on the inside is you don't choose your family, they are God's gift to you as you are to them. And just a flourish on the envelope. These two I made when I went to retreat this year, summer retreat for Victoria Marie, that was in Weatherford, Texas a couple of months ago. One of the girls there sold Kiwi Lane products, and so she passed out this card of or paper with all of these embellishments on it, and you could cut them out however you chose to do. So I used a border die or a tag die, doily die, whatever you want to call it, and I cut them out and then layered up one of the stickers that came with the stuff there with the flower that I added in, with ribbon that I added in, and that was all the pattern paper was from the kit that she provided, and then I added the enamel dots and the flower and the ribbon here. It was supposed to be for the smaller size card, but I just put it on one of my bigger cards and then stamped on the inside, "You are my sunshine." Same deal here. I went through and I added the floral pieces here. I added the enamel dots there, and I added the ribbon. Otherwise the rest of it came from the pattern paper that she provided, the kit that she provided, and it says believe in yourself. Yeah, so that's it as far as the cards go. For the layouts, I mean, I got a lot scrapped. 20 pages is what I created. This first one here is of my sister and her partner, Chris, and so this was at our family reunion in 2017, and so they were both there, and this is just a photo that I snapped, but you can see I used one of those pages from the book that was in French. This was a today card. I stamped on it, "We start and end with family." This is a sentiment that I stamped up here. Used lots of little bits and pieces of embellishments throughout. Oh, I did use that, the die shaped tags, the tag shaped dies. This is another one, simple layout, and it's just about the Blue Angels flyby. Where she lives in her backyard, you get to sit out and watch the Blue Angels, which is the Navy's version of acrobatic planes. I think the Air Force have one called the Thunderbirds. I don't know if the Army has any or not, but I know the Blue Angels are the Navy, maybe the Marines combined, that they have this group of fighter pilots that do the acrobatics for air shows across the country, across the world really. So very simple layout. I had this map type paper, and I just went through, added some additional stickers, added the acetate piece here, added some cork stars, and added some twine, and called it good. This is a layout of my son Joshua, and because this layout, I think I used this photo. I've used this photo before, but not in relation to this party, and so these were a lot of the birthday party photos for my littlest granddaughter Ellie. This was her 3rd birthday party, and so I went through and I used the chipboard letters to do this. I added lots of washi tape and border strips to create the background. That was a journaling piece. Wood veneer. That was a Michaels embellishment, a flare, a random sticker, some vellum stickers. I mean, just lots of random embellishment that all looked really well on this layout together. This one is Ellie. These are, you know, like I said, from her birthday party. This was her 3rd birthday. And so I went through and just added a lot of little bits and pieces. Circles that, a punch out tag here, layered up enamel dots, photo corners, the cloth tags, stickers, border strips, these enamel pieces. There's the word adventure that was from a sticker sheet, and then I had this acrylic piece that says explore, and then I put love on there. And then my journaling, of course, is on one of those journal pieces that I added, and then one of the kites from the Recollections pack. This is my older granddaughter, Shawnee, which she is sisters with Ellie. And so this doesn't have to do with the birthday party. This was just a random photo that I caught of her, and she just looks so precious in this picture that, you know, I just needed to create a layout with it. So I used lots of flowers with this floral background paper, and I used lots of twine, lots of random little bitty bits of embellishment, you know, stickers and cork and flowers that I punched and flowers that came in kits and washi tape and tag pieces, and then a little bit of journaling up here. That's even a tag shape that's been in my stash for a long time. That's the piece that was from a punch out pack. Those I fussy cut. The banner pieces here I fussy cut from a pattern paper. So you can see I got lots of embellishments on this one layout. So and lots of little bits of bling and enamel dots to complete that. This is a 2-page layout, and it says birthday party in the park. And so it was, you know, the colors that Ellie was wearing, that bright blue, and then her cake was pink with purple, and then the kids' clothes were all bright colored. I just felt like, okay, I've got all of this neutral, the park, the greenery. You get lots of neutral color tones with it. You can add some pops of color in with like the yellow and then the bright blue. And so that's what I did. I went through and I added in pops of color here and there without trying to be too obvious about it. Like with the gold enamel here and the dark brown here. You can see it's pulled from the dark brown in there. This little floral sticker is one that, you know, came from an old Recollections pack. And so you can see I tried to like put in a little bit of that yellow border sticker back there. And same here. That was a piece of paper that I had used a portion of, and I had that left, and so I just tucked it in there. I have a metal piece with the number 3 on it. I used some of the stickles that I had in my kit to put some dots in the flowers that I have. Another floral piece, one of those tags that is on canvas, a border strip, a sticker border strip. You know, I got little pops of color in there to kind of tone down like all of this super bright coloring in here and this super bright coloring in here. Again, single page layout, brilliant colors with her party stuff, but because the background setting was at the park and there was lots of natural tones as far as, you know, environmental tones, browns and creams and that kind of thing, I felt like I was getting great use of the pattern paper that I put in with the embellishments that I added. The gold sequins, the stamp color in this green, the blue that matches the dress, the yellow, which what are they called? Not daffodils. dandelions that are here in the park. You know, you get that little pop of yellow in nature, and so I pulled it out and brought it here. The yellow in her pony, you know, I mean, the flower that's in her hair, you can see these tones are pulled through. The blue of her dress, all of those tones are pulled out. I have lots of random embellishment here. I have metal pieces, I have cork, I have buttons, I have stickers, I have glitter, enamel dots, I have sequins, a doily up here, a border piece here. That's that title that I pulled off from my set that has Sassitude on it. It's a vellum sticker, so I put it on cardstock and then I fussy cut it out in order to layer it up for my title. Then this is a single layout. It says Pony Girl. Oh, I did use that alphabet. I forgot. I thought I didn't use it at all. And that's a real, again, it's a vellum alphabet, and I put it onto cardstock. I ran it through the bigger size sticker maker than the Xyron X. The next size up, I ran those letters through there, added sticky to them, put them on plain cardstock, and then cut them out. I used a sticker, and then I used that brown chipboard set that I have that the glue is all gone, and I glued them down to that. I added lots of sequins and lots of bling. I added washi tape here, and then I added a piece of a sticker over here to create my journaling spot, and some little additional phrase stickers there, one of those bows, a piece of ribbon. You know, I just layered and textured things to make it pop a little bit, because the photos are so bright and so bold with this kit that I didn't want to overwhelm the photos with the backgrounds that I created. Again, you know, with the pony in the background and the blue dress and the big yard at the park with all the dandelions in it, I was able to pull up that yellow and create a layout here that with the blue and the brown, you know, from the dress and the pony, and then the yellow from the dandelions, I was able to pull that up. And you can see just along the back here, it's washi tape and border strips and scraps of paper. So, you know, I used what I had to create these layouts. That's an acrylic piece that says Adventure. And then I used an acetate piece down here to layer under this little embellishment cluster here. This is at the Victoria Marie crop. We had a challenge to create a layout with a quote. And so this is actually going into a frame on my wall. And the quote reads, "Nothing can dim the light that shines from within." And it's the Maya Angelou quote. And so you can see I used border strips, I used brads, I used washi tape, I used several different fonts. I even wrote Maya Angelou down there. And so floral stickers and brads and buttons and cork and enamel dots. I used it all to create this layout. This one is a 2-pager. So when it goes side by side, and this one doesn't really have to do with her birthday as it does with her expression. As she's walking through the park, she gets this really intense expression on her face. Whenever she's going someplace, you know she's got a mission to complete, because her face tells you she does. And so I love that I was able to pull up all of these colors that you find bits and pieces in the nature behind her, and pull those up to create this layout. You see some dark shadowing here, so I used a darker brown paper. You have you know, little bits and pieces of blue from the dress and green from the grass, and little pops of yellow from the dandelions, you know, and I feel like it just all worked together, and I love, love, love how these layouts came out. I don't guess it would be an overstatement to say that I'm proud of this kit, and these layouts I think turned out so beautiful. This is another one, another Pony Girl layout, same title, different photos. This is my granddaughter Zoe, and so she's not sisters with the other 2 girls, but she's my other son's daughter, and so she had her turn of riding the ponies, and so this one will go into her album The other pony girl with Ellie in it will go into Ellie's album. This one will go into Zoe's album. And I think I even have one with Shawnee that also reads Pony Girl that will go into Shawnee's album. So you can see lots of random stuff here to create this layout, but it's all pulled from the background colors, but not trying to overwhelm the background colors, if that makes any sense. Because the clothes that they're wearing in the background, just the overall greenery of the background, all of it is so bright and bold anyway. You really need that neutral background with just little bits and pops of color to pull it all together, I think. This big wooden piece from Freckled Fawn, I went through and I added some of that stickles down into the hearts here. And I'm really impressed that it dried like that, but I kept it smashed down with like a book or something on top of it until it was completely dry. Thank goodness that stuff dries fast. Okay, I thought this one read Pony Girl too, but it says Explore Today. And this is one with Shawnee and the pony. We almost thought she was going to be too big to ride the pony, but it turns out she wasn't. She did get to ride it some. So she had a great time at the park as well. Just enjoying leading this pony around by its lead and riding on the pony. And you can see the colors are very bright and bold. It's springtime. These were in April, and so the colors on the trees are popping, the dandelions are popping, the grass is popping, everything is very bright and colorful. This one I probably added a few more bright embellishments around the layout than most of them, only because I have so many floral pieces or yellow pieces surrounded the photo. But I love how it turned out. I did add this gold doily here. I cut it in half and used a piece here and a piece here. I used book pages behind these photos. Let's see. I used these doily acetate pieces here and here. I layered up the flowers, of course. I used brads. I used bling. I used a flare. That was a flat sticker that said Explore, and I just bumped it up with some foam tape, and then of course I glued down the wood veneer that said Today, added in some little bits of cork stickers here. So I love how this one turned out. I love how they all turned out. This is a 2-pager, and it is from the birthday party that we had at my house. This was the year before. This was from 2016. So in these photos she was turning 2. Yeah, last year was 3, this year is 4. Okay, so these I had, I made a wish and you came true. Those were stickers from a Close to My Heart sticker sheet, and I just popped them up. I used washi tape in multiple spots. I used lots of bling, enamel, cork, again, more flowers throughout. I layered up sticker leaves with leatherette leaves. I did my journaling down here, just a random sticker there, and I let the colors in the background really pop off. The colors from the photos, like these red hats, there's nothing red about the layout, but because the photos, some of them were in darker, heavier clothing, I felt like I could pull that off by using the more toned down colors around the photos. But you can see, I mean, I had a really good time pulling these layouts together. And then this is the final 2-pagers, and this was again at Ellie's birthday, but it has nothing to do with the birthday party itself. These photos are of Zoe. They're all ones that I had left over, and so I just grouped them all together on this one layout that will go into her book. I cut a gold doily apart here. I cut one of these little I don't remember where they're from, but these doilies are just fragile as they can be. I cut it in half and used a piece here and a piece here. I got some flowers in here. I got some kites in here. I got a couple more of the craft color doilies, a couple more of the acetate doilies, one of those pieces here that was a journaling sentiment that was an old My Mind's Eye, and so I used it for my title. And just bits and pieces of stickers and cork and randomness throughout. Even a little piece of ribbon in here, and that's just a long sticker that I cut apart and used a piece here and a piece here. More of those fabric tags here and here. So, and I really love that I was able to pull the black embellishment from the image here to here to here, and then all the way across this page from here to here to here, and then back down to here. So you get that flow of black across the page. This was such a fun day. We had such a good time, and she was all about having a good time, but she felt so bad. Her allergies were so bad. You would think that would be cake smeared across her nose, and she does have some cake on her, but by gosh, that nose is raw from sneezing so much that day in the park. We forgot her Zyrtec. So 20 pages completed from the kit that I put together, and then 5 cards. And so I hope this inspires you to go into your stash, pull out a paper pack, or just, you know, some random sheets of paper that you want to create layouts with, and pull together a kit from your stash to create some beautiful layouts and use up that stash. And I hope this really inspired you, because nothing in these layouts is like recent. Everything is older stash. And I'm sure if you guys look through, you'll find that you have a lot of these same products that you've had for years in your stash. So anyway, I hope I inspired you. If I did, please leave me a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe, so hopefully that you will be inspired at some point to create something from your stash. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks for sticking around and watching my video, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, folks.